Bugbears in Dungeons & Dragons are large, brutish humanoids with long, shaggy fur covering their bodies. They stand around 7 feet tall and are heavily muscled, making them have a formidable physical presence. Their faces are a combination of bear and monkey features, with sharp fangs and small, beady eyes that gleam with malice. Bugbears are born for battle and mayhem, surviving by raiding and hunting. And their love of carnage means they will fight for powerful masters if bloodshed and treasure is assured. Now that we know what a bugbear is, let's talk features. The bugbear has a +6 to stealth and a +2 to survival. It has a dark vision of 60 feet with a pretty average passive perception of 10. They can speak and understand Common and Goblin. After that, we have the bugbear's chief. This guy's a little bit more beefy, with a +2 intimidation to keep control over his chieftain position. Following the bugbear, the chieftain has a +6 to stealth and a +3 to survival. It knows the same languages as a normal bugbear does, unless deemed otherwise by your dungeon master. Now, bugbears are known for their love of setting up ambushes in difficult to escape locations, so it comes to no surprise that they're equipped with good stealth and survival skills. A great way to terrorize your players if you use this correctly. Then we have one of its most basic features, Brute. A melee weapon attack deals 1 extra die of damage when the bugbear hits with it. It's pretty simple. This is already included in all of its die rolls. Now, we all know why this was designed this way, but it's also pretty hilarious when you think about a bugbear hitting someone so hard with a dagger that it does 2d4. Bugbears have a typical way to finding a solution for everything, and that solution is...
I guess we could hit him really hard together?
We then have a bugbear's bread and butter ability.
Surprise, motherfucker!
That's right, you guessed it, it's surprise attack. If the bugbear surprises a creature and hits it with an attack during the first round of combat, the target takes an extra 2d6 damage from the attack. Now we move to their combat actions. I would like to say there's a lot to talk about, but there really isn't. It's based on what weapon you give them. The book, they have a Morning Star, a simple melee weapon attack that deals 11 or 2d8 +2 piercing damage, and a simple javelin you can use for melee or range. It has a simple base range of 30 feet and 120 feet long range, dealing 9 or 2d6 +2 piercing damage if used in melee, or 1d6 +2 piercing damage at range. But to be fair with you, you could probably just make the damage the same 2d6 +2, because I mean, if there's so much brutes, they probably throw it really hard, same way they stab really hard. Makes no damn difference, really. Now that we talk about its features, let's talk settings. Here are 3 settings that could work for your world. For a simple quest, we have the small big boss. The local village has been plagued by bugbear raids on their livestock and crops. The players are hired to track down the bugbears and put an end to their attacks. It turns out the bugbears are being driven to desperation by the goblins they serve, who demand an ever-increasing tribute. The players can negotiate with the goblin boss and come up with a solution that can satisfy both parties, or they could always eliminate both, or one. For a strange one, we have the village gone wild. A wizard has been experimenting with bugbear brains and has created a potion that gives the drinker the strength and ferocity of a bugbear. The wizard has gone missing, and the adventurers are hired to track him down and retrieve his research notes. However, the wizard has accidentally created a batch of bugbear potions that have gone wrong and has turned a nearby village into a group of raging bugbears. The adventurers will have to find a way to reverse the effects of the potion before the village destroys itself. For a more complicated one, we have the temple. The adventurers are hired by a mysterious figure to retrieve a magical artifact from a hidden temple. The temple is guarded by a powerful spell that can only be broken by the sacrifice of a strong sentient creature. The mysterious figure has chosen a bugbear as a sacrifice, believing that the bugbear's violent nature will make it easier to control. But as the adventurers travel deeper into the temple, they begin to uncover the tragic story of the bugbear, who was once a proud warrior who has been manipulated and enslaved by the mysterious figure's powerful magic. The adventurers must decide whether to continue with their mission and possibly gain untold treasures, or to help the bugbear and find a way for him to gain its freedom. Now that's all we have for settings, so let's talk strategy. Now for a general strategy, bugbears are born for battle and excel in melee combat due to their strength and endurance. They often rely on their intimidating presence and ferocious attacks to intimidate and overpower their enemies. In battle, a bugbear will typically form a front line, charging headlong into the enemy ranks, wielding their weapons with brute force and savagery. They will be supported by archers or magic users who can soften up the enemies before they close in. Bugbears might also set up ambushes and traps to catch their enemies off guard. Use numbers and add other goblin-like creatures to their ranks to bolster their forces and create a more well-rounded combat encounter for your PCs. You could always enhance it by giving them more magical gear or weaponry. Anything of that sort. They're pretty much your average basic martial class, and you're just gonna have to make them unique in some way by adding features or unique weaponry. Now for an interesting combat strategy, one creative strategy that they would use is something called the Thunder Roll. Bugbears, being skilled in stealth and ambush tactics, use their ability to move quietly to their advantage. The Thunder Roll involves a group of bugbears rolling large boulders down a steep slope towards the enemies, creating a thunderous sound that disorients and distracts them. As the enemies are thrown off balance, the bugbears charge forward, taking advantage of the confusion to launch a ferocious attack. The Thunder Roll could be a highly effective strategy when used in the right terrain against the right enemies. That is all for today's video. Please like, follow, and subscribe. Tell me about your favorite encounter with a bugbear in the comment section below. Have a good one.